But here on 5 Live Sport, we welcome the two sides out into the arena at Stamford Bridge. Red versus blue, as Manchester United to the left, led out by Wayne Rooney, accompany the home side Chelsea with John Terry leading the way. The home of the Premier League champions, but not for much longer. It's a fixture which has meant so much over so many seasons. They're playing, well, they're playing for the result on the day. They're playing for pride, of course they are. But it has relatively little impact at the top of the table. We're still hoping for a big one. Chelsea, Manchester United in the company of former England midfielder Danny Murphy, our correspondent John Murray. And first, it's Alan Green.
Thank you, Jonathan. While we've been chatting, some long friends have appeared in their seats just in front of our commentary position. Chelsea fans who've been here as long as we've had this commentary position high in the main stand at Stamford Bridge. And I had one ear cocked on their conversation, and they're talking about John Terry. And somebody, a row or two in front, was screaming, "Who's taking the decisions here? Who's making the decisions here?" There's a lot of unhappiness amongst Chelsea supporters about John Terry's situation. Anyway, to matters in hand, the team news is straightforward. Both sides are unchanged from their last league displays. Chelsea's goalkeeper is Courtois. The defence, Ivanovic, Zuma, Terry and Azpilicueta. Then we've got Mikel and Matic. Then Willian, Fabregas and Oscar. And finally, Costa. Pedro and Hazard are amongst the Chelsea players on the bench today. Manchester United's goalkeeper is De Gea. Their defence is Darmian, Smalling, Blint and Borthwick Jackson. Then Fellaini and Carrick. Then Lingard, Mata and Martial, and finally Rooney. Rooney scored 5 goals in his last 5 league games. He's only 5 goals now behind Bobby Charlton's record at Old Trafford, Danny.
Fantastic, isn't it? It really is remarkable. I mean, I've played in Wayne's England debut, and we knew he was a talent even at that age, but to do what he's done over a period of time and remain in the United side, simply, never mind win the trophies and score the goals he has, credit to him. He's a great lad, and he's been a wonderful player for Manchester United. I suppose the only question is, how long will he continue to wear that red shirt for?
Yep. I mean, it's only a month or so since there were huge questions being asked at Old Trafford about did he deserve his place in the team. Well, he's in the team, he's captain. Chelsea are going to kick off in their blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. Manchester United in red shirts, white shorts and black socks. Music blurs out on the tannoy. The referee is Michael Oliver. We're ready to get underway, and it's Chelsea who are unbeaten in 8 league games and certainly want to continue with that record. Like Danny, I'm rather disappointed though that there wasn't a place for Hazard today. You've got Mikel and Matic, very similar players, not obviously as adventurous as the likes of Hazard. We're still waiting obviously for television to tell Michael Oliver that it's all right to blow his whistle. It's the way of our football. He steps back a couple of yards. I think he's got the signal from television and the whistle blows. We're underway, and Fabregas sends the pass down the left-hand side towards Azpilicueta, the full-back, wearing the mask. But Manchester United intercept, and it's cleared up towards Lingard by Fellaini. Chelsea win the ball back momentarily, and then Smalling hits it up over the halfway line. It was 0-0 when these sides met on December 28th at Old Trafford. That was a huge day for Louis van Gaal. They just lost at Stoke, Manchester United. The speculation was if he loses to Chelsea, he's out of a job. Well, he's still in a job. Here's Fellaini for Van Gaal's team, finding Blint, and Blint back to Michael Carrick. If Daley Blint moves forward, Carrick is certain to drop back a little bit as the conservative defensive option. Now it's down the far side of the field with Martial wearing gloves, and I'm not blaming him today. It's a bitterly cold afternoon in London. Now Smalling onto Darmian, and Darmian, good ball to Lingard. Lingard, middle of the Chelsea half, back to Carrick. Carrick plays it towards the right side. Fellaini heads it on. Darmian is there, tries to volley the cross in. It hits Azpilicueta and goes out of play for a Manchester United throw-in, which is taken immediately by Darmian. Played on to Lingard. and then it's shepherded back by Matic to goalkeeper Courtois.
What's evident in the first few minutes is that Cesc Fabregas will try and get himself around Carrick, whether he's capable of stopping Carrick's play, because he's already played 2 super forward passes into the Chelsea final third.
Fabregas looking for Willian, running forward, but it's Borthwick Jackson, the young left back from Manchester United, who gets there first. He finds De Gea, and De Gea clatters the ball over the halfway line. Here's Zuma, again preferred to Cahill in the league starting lineup for Chelsea. I wonder how long Cahill will put up with that. But if Terry goes, well, you know, that's Cahill and Zuma. Or so it might be. Blint hits it to the halfway line, met by Ivanovic at the expense of a throw into Manchester United. Borthwick Jackson to take it, about 15 yards short of the halfway line. Stamford Bridge is full and the away supporters making a lot of noise. The United fans to our left. It's always a hard core that travels with a club. Now, Darmian for the visitors. To Fellaini. Darmian once more to Lingard. Lovely flick by Lingard. Fellaini just outside the penalty area, plays it in low. It was never likely to reach Rooney. Cleared by Chelsea, but back into Manchester United's possession. United have started well here. Here's Mata playing the ball to the left side, and Rooney now leaving it for Carrick. And Carrick slips it to the left side. Now, can they get the cross in? It's played in towards the near post, and it's a diving header by Zuma that puts the ball behind into the Matthew Harding stand for a corner to United.
Good start from Manchester United. Dangerous cross that from Borthwick Jackson. He's impressed actually in the last couple of weeks. He's going to have a tough battle there with Willian today. But again, Fabregas letting Carrick dictate play. If he carries on like that, it will be a nice afternoon for United.
United's corners tapped short to Mata. Mata plays it back, and now Lingard to Blint on the far side of the field. Blint's attempted cross hits Fabregas, and it's out of play for a United throw-in. Nearly 4 minutes gone here. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. Earlier, it finished Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. An important psychological boost for Arsene Wenger's team. Borthwick Jackson with the throw-in to Martial. Martial halfway inside the Chelsea half, looking for a 1-2 with Rooney. Didn't come off, but Zuma just hits it out of play again, and Chelsea heavily on the defensive in these opening minutes. Borthwick Jackson once more. I saw him play the Champions League for United at Wolfsburg and knew nothing about him, and now he's a regular starter.
Good honesty. I like your honesty. Nor did I when I saw him.
Never heard of him.
He played at Bournemouth and struggled, to be honest, but he came on at Anfield recently and played really well and stayed in the team since.
Fellaini back to Blint, and Blint to his goalkeeper De Gea. 2 wonderful young goalkeepers at evidence here at Stamford Bridge today. De Gea for Manchester United, Courtois for Chelsea. De Gea's pass out was to Blint, back it goes to De Gea, and De Gea, not under any pressure, finds Michael Carrick, and Carrick whips the ball over the halfway line, but it's intercepted by Mikel. And here's Matic being hustled by Fellaini, and the referee's decision is the foul on Fellaini. Free kick to Manchester United. There are many Manchester United fans who can't really believe that Fellaini is in this United starting 11, not someone like Schneiderlin. There's a try in the Super League. Dave Woods.
Wakefield 10, Widnes 18. Wakefield back in it early second half thanks to a try from Reece Lynn, goaled by Finn. So Wakefield 10, Widnes 18, and 6-6 Hull Kingston Rovers Castleford.
News from La Liga that Real Betis have taken the lead against Gary Neville's Valencia. Neville still can't get a win in La Liga. He's having a bad time. It was such a huge ask of him.
It was a big job to take on your first time. It's a huge club, and in a country where you can't speak the language. It was a strange one, I have to say.
Darmian for United to Lingard, back to Carrick. Manchester United dominant in these opening 6 minutes. Here's Fellaini, and Fellaini evades 2 challenges, flicks the pass to the right side. Darmian collects it, beats a Chelsea player moving inside, and then the cross in by Lingard hits John Terry, and it's behind for another corner to Manchester United. The home fans will be rather concerned at the beginning to this match.
Been low-key from Chelsea, I have to say. They haven't really put a glove on Manchester United, been able to come out, pass the ball around and play with confidence.
Now this corner is from the United right side, and Blint's left foot will surely play it into that penalty area. Fellaini, an obvious target. Mata was available initially for a short corner, but it's played in well and then hooked away, and it's gone behind for another corner. I think it's Costa who got his boot to that. So it's 3 corners in the opening 7 minutes of the game to Manchester United. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. But United much the brighter of the two teams, and their fans to our left are reflecting that with the noise that they're making. Elsewhere, Stamford Bridge relatively silent. So once more, it's Blint to take the corner, left-footed, but this time from the left side. And Lingard goes across there to offer the short option. Now he moves away. Blint hits the corner towards the near post, but it's headed away comfortably by Chelsea. Collected now by Borthwick Jackson, who shoots at goal, trundles along the ground and is easily caught by Courtois. And Courtois, well, he could have cleared that quickly. There were 3 Chelsea players scurrying down the right flank. Maybe Courtois just didn't catch them in his vision. So it's played out short by the Belgian goalkeeper. Now it's back to Zuma and Courtois once more. Courtois finds Fabregas. Fabregas hustled by Mata. He avoids Mata. And it's played forward, but Manchester United win the ball back. They're quicker to the ball at the moment than Chelsea are in these opening 8 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. Here's Matic heading it forward from De Gea's clearance, but that only went to Smalling. Good ball by Smalling to Mata. Left of the centre circle. On it goes to Martial. Hugging that left touchline for the moment. Now he cuts infield, putting the ball between the legs of Ivanovic. Ivanovic now got him back in. He made a challenge and Chelsea win the ball back. Let's get an update from the Six Nations. The Aviva Stadium. Conor McNamara.
6 minutes played in the second half, Alan. Ireland leading 13-10, but Wales with a chance to level the scoreline. Here comes Reece Priestland. Penalty from the edge of the 22, and it goes straight between the posts. It's all square in Dublin. Ireland 13, Wales 13.
And in terms of the Scottish Cup, we'll get news of a goal at East Kilbride. In fact, we'll do that now. Ian Turner.
50 minutes gone, Alan. Celtic have made it 2-0 over East Kilbride. It was an overhead kick from Lee Griffiths, saved in the line by Colin. Kazim Richards was first to react. He prodded it home. It's East Kilbride 0, Celtic 2.
Thank you very much, Ian. Another corner here to Manchester United. Once more, Daley Blind will take it. It's from the right side, hooking it in left-footed. And the fans, the Chelsea fans, are silent close to the Manchester United players. He plays the corner deep for Darmian. Darmian swings across into the penalty area. Glanced off a couple of heads. I think it's gone out of play off a Chelsea nut, and it's going to be a nut in the nicest possible way, of course. It's going to be a Manchester United throw-in. Close to the corner flag. Borthwick Jackson to take it. How much time has been spent in the United half? A few seconds.
Yeah, it's been a really good start, really positive, confident start for Manchester United. Something we haven't said too often this season, but Chelsea need to pull the finger out on the back foot at the moment.
Here's Borthwick Jackson running forward, ran into Willian. The ball deflects out of play. It's another throw-in to Manchester United. Borthwick Jackson, and there's a goal. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know where that goal is. I couldn't hear the producer. We'll let you know in a moment. Meantime, it's 0-0 here at Stamford Bridge. Willian for Chelsea. Willian now moving with purpose towards the halfway line. That's a good ball to the right. Oh, it looked like a good ball, but it's actually overhit. And, well, Fabregas couldn't keep that in play. It's out for a throw-in. It's listeners to World Service that I say a big welcome to. Hearty welcome to Stamford Bridge. This game, Chelsea, Manchester United, so many times in recent years, you know, this is potential title decider. Not so this season, but it's still something that you can't tear your eyes off, particularly with two Dutch managers who basically don't like each other. Van Gaal and Hiddink, not the best of pals. Different philosophies of football as well. Now here's Oscar playing the ball forward in the vague direction of Willian, but it's well ahead of the Brazilians behind for a goal kick.
Well, Michael Carrick's already dictating the pace of this game. Fabregas has got to be more aware of him when United are in the build-up and stand on him. He's obviously a good ball player himself, Fabregas. Not natural to him to defend from the front, but he's got to do it better than he is at the moment.
11 minutes gone. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. De Gea's goal kick. Went into the Chelsea half. And it's won eventually by Fellaini. On to Rooney, and here's Mata. Mata to Martial on the far side. That's the United left. Martial's running it. Ivanovic, who's being helped out by Willian, but the ball squirts back to Mata. Carrick with his arms aloft. He wanted to pass back to him, but it's down the left side. Borthwick Jackson crosses, takes a deflection, and it's yet another corner to Manchester United. You think they're the home team.
They've just got more zip in their play. Their first to the second balls just come out as though they mean business. Chelsea look as though they've got nothing to play for, and actually they have. They've got places to play for. Superb bench today. Players who want to get in that side for the PSG game.
Blint with a corner from the left. Fellaini runs towards the near post. It's almost onto Fellaini's head. Smalling was behind him. Half cleared by Chelsea. But somehow Rooney managed to get the ball away to the far side, and Blint crosses again. Another deflection up into the air in the Chelsea penalty area. Half clear, and now it's with Costa, and Costa found Matic. Matic tackled, loses the ball to Blint. Blint still on the attack. Now Fellaini, and the shot driven in by Carrick, saved by Courtois. It's been all Manchester United in the opening 12 and a half minutes here at Stamford Bridge.
Well, we talked earlier, didn't we, about the two holding midfielders. They're both sitting in similar positions. One of them can go 20 yards further forward and try and get some pressing on Manchester United, because they're just dictating possession at the moment. It's too easy for them.
Here's Blint, back to De Gea. You were saying, Danny, before kick-off, you know, this good run of Chelsea's, but they haven't actually played that well.
No, they certainly haven't been as creative or as exciting as they were in the majority of the season when they won the league, of course, last year. And it takes time to build confidence again, but at the moment they do look a bit rigid and a bit cumbersome.
Mata finds Darmian. Darmian moves forward, and he's forced to get almost a return pass off Azpilicueta to the left back for Chelsea, but he goes out of play, and it's a throw in which Darmian will take. Lingard nearest to him. Mata's looking behind him. It's level over the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Throw-in goes to Mata. Once off Chelsea, of course. Mata to Lingard. Good touch by Lingard. Back to Darmian. And now Carrick. Carrick disappointed with the way he flicked the ball forwards. It wasn't that bad, but Manchester United retained possession. Here's Blint, just 20 yards short of the halfway line, to Martial on the far side of the field. The way he started, I think Ivanovic could be in for an uncomfortable afternoon.
I agree.
Now here's Borthwick Jackson to Smalling. 14 minutes played 0-0. A rare misplaced pass from Chris Smalling, but then it's given away by, of all people, John Terry. And it's out for a throw into United on the far side of the field.
It's infectious. Chelsea players can't keep hold of the ball, can't string 3 or 4 passes together.
The movement of Manchester United, the swiftness of the passing, is that really nothing to do with Louis van Gaal? I mean, is it just happening accidentally? I don't know. I think Howe says he's in charge.
Yeah, I think some of these players, listen, they've been having a bad time and confidence hasn't been good. Playing away from home at times can be easier when you're a Manchester United player. Certainly today it seems that way, and some of these players are looking full of confidence.
A quarter of an hour played, 0-0. United free kick, bomb forward. Being watched by Sir Alex Ferguson today, United. Here's Willian, one of Chelsea's better players this season, and that's a great run forward by Willian. He's made 50 yards, he's got a man to his left, it's Oscar, up to the edge of the United penalty. Oscar's shot, blocked by Darmian's right foot, deflects away to the far side of the field. Fabregas keeps it in play, into Willian. Willian's back heel, aimed at Fabregas, hits a United player. Willian keeps it in play. Willian onto Matic, and Matic into the penalty area, and then he's running the ball behind. That's a disappointing end for that Chelsea move, but Willian, heavily influential.
I have to say, he is one of my favourite players. He has been the shining light for Chelsea this season. Played with the same tempo and intensity week in, week out. And when he gets moving with the ball like that, there's not many better sides in the Premier League. I think he's been absolutely outstanding in a troubled season for Chelsea.
Yeah, I find it very hard to tell them apart, Fellaini and Willian, because of their hairstyles.
I have hair envy, yeah.
Yeah. They're both exceptional players, of course. United have the ball on the far side of the field. Borthwick Jackson tried to run forward. He's tackled by Fabregas. It's out of play, and it's a throw-in on the halfway line to Manchester United. I'd love to know what the possession stats are. It must be 70-30 in United's favour at the moment.
Yeah, which is credit to them.
Borthwick Jackson with the throw-in. Onto the chest of Mata. Back to the full-back. Onto Mata once more, and then Mata's tackled by Mikel. And it's a throw-in once more to Manchester United. You're listening to the World Service at 5 Live on the BBC. 17 minutes gone at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Willian loses it to Marshall. Lovely play by Borthwick Jackson to find Marshall again. Into Mata. Mata 35 yards from goal. Approaching the penalty area. Slips the pass to the left to Marshall. Cutting into his right foot. His shot just wide. Oh, it must have been saved by Courtois. Goodness gracious. That was very, very close from Marshall.
It's a fantastic strike from Martial. What's a
good save.
That is from Courtois.
We're a long way off. That's my excuse. But he got a vital touch on it.
Oh, that is an absolutely wonderful, a brilliant save. And again, you talked earlier about Martial starting the game well. You're right. And cutting in from that left-hand side, he's such a threat. They've got to show him on his left foot.
Blint again with the corner. To be played left-footed. Hooked in towards Courtois' goal, beyond Courtois, and that's well defended by Zuma, heading up and away when Fellaini was poised to strike. And now it's hit upfield by John Terry. Fabregas chasing after it. Should be covered. Well, it wasn't particularly well played, that by Borthwick Jackson. Costa to Willian on the far side. Willian hits it cross-field, aimed at Oscar. Oscar takes the ball down off his chest. Slips the cross in, easily headed away by Michael Carrick. Now Mikel brings it down and finds Matic, and Matic hits it all the way back to Courtois, to a little disgruntlement from the Chelsea fans. They haven't started brightly, Chelsea. Dominated by the visitors so far. Here's Zuma, and Zuma finds Azpilicueta, the left back. Quickly played on. Oscar did well. Not Oscar, it was Costa who did well. Finding Oscar, back it goes to Costa. Costa cutting in towards the penalty, but he ran into Darmian. Good clearance by the right back. Fed on by Mata to the right side and Lingard. United's passing is swifter than I've seen it for quite a while. There's plenty of movement out there in the red shirts.
Alan, look how far away Fabregas is from Carrick again. No awareness of his position at all. So easy for United to get out and dictate play, and that's why.
The possession stats so far: Chelsea 33%, Manchester United 67%, and Barnsley lead Bury 2-0 in League One. This is the Barclays Premier League. We've played nearly 20 minutes. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Blint for United to Smalling. Smalling almost on the halfway line, and just moves across it now into the centre circle, and now there's space into which he can run, but his pass was under hit. It was intercepted by Willian. Willian now for Chelsea. Costa breaks to the right. Willian's pass aimed in that general direction, but Costa had decided to cut left. So let's get an update from the Six Nations. Conor McNamara.
Ireland 13, Wales 13, quarter of an hour played in the second half. Murray with the try for Ireland, Faletau with the try for Wales. Ireland had led 13-0. Wales, though, with a very impressive comeback, could still go either way. Ireland 13, Wales 13.
And to the other code, Wakefield witness Dave Woods.
19 minutes left to play. Wakefield 10, Witness 24. Witness back in control. Lloyd White reaching over for a touchdown close to the line. Hanbury's kicked the goal. It's Wakefield 10, Witness 24.
Good work by Costa to find Oscar, and now it's Willian. Oscar's available on that far side. Willian cuts forward away from Borthwick Jackson, but the cross is overhit and it's behind for a goal kick.
At least Willian's trying to be positive. He's trying to make things happen and go past people. Probably the only one of the Chelsea side, in the attacking sense anyway, that's started with any intent or good intent.
Boris Becker amongst those inside Stamford Bridge today. Obviously had great difficulty getting a ticket, I'm sure. Thankfully our tickets are available and we can commentate. 0-0 so far, Chelsea and Manchester United, but it's actually a much brighter game than I was anticipating beforehand. Rooney couldn't get to the ball before Mikel, and Zuma onto Azpilicueta, and now Costa holding off Smalling. Costa over the halfway line finds Oscar. Oscar's flick pass forward, not great, cleared by Darmian, great control by Rooney. Rooney onto Mata, and Mata was being pulled back there by Mikel. Referee allowed play to continue. United had the advantage. They have possession. Now Lingard to Rooney. 10 yards outside the penalty area. Onto Martial down the far side. United left. Onto his right foot. There's the cross in towards Fellaini. Headed away by Matic. Still inside the penalty area, or at least it was, until Zuma heads it out of play. Throwing.
It's good play again. Intricate passing. Good touch from Rooney when it comes up. Then you get the runners off him. Chelsea at 6s and 7s. Really impressed with Manchester United.
Earlier Arsenal beat Bournemouth 2-0. And they're still in the race. Yes, they are. It's been a fascinating week. I mean, I was at Leicester the other night, Danny, you know, and that was a great Leicester performance. It was quite an even game for quite a while, but then Vardy, and then the win at Manchester City for them yesterday. Now, United on the attack. It's with Martial inside the penalty area, and he just decided to play it off the defender Ivanovic, and it's behind for how many corners did that now? We must be up to about 7.
You sense a goal coming. This dominant performance. We always talk about scoring when you're playing well, but I feel like there's an inevitability.
John Maria waits for the commentary. I'll just conclude this corner. Blint to take it from the United left, and Fellaini deepest. Played in, Smalling heads it on, deflected off a Chelsea defender. It's another corner. Here's John.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah, I only saw the highlights of the win against Stoke in the week. This looks like a completely different Manchester United team. Played really well in the opening stages here. Corner's taken short, played into the penalty area, rattles around. It's hooked back in by Carrick, bounces down. Thought it might have struck an arm in there. Shot by Smalling, it's blocked, comes out. Carrick hits the shot from an angle and it's deflected off the shins of Matic wide. And there's some consternation in there. I think that is over whether it maybe struck a Manchester United arm. But it is given as a corner by referee Michael Oliver.
I think it was the push from Smalling.
Corner from the right. This is in front of the Matthew Harding stand, in which the spectators have moved all of the banners back, apart from the one that reads JT, Captain, Leader, Legend. Spectators in there watching as the corner is taken by Blint. It's gone a long way, it bounced off Fellaini. He saw it late, hit him really, bounced away, and Chelsea were able to clear it up towards the halfway line. Chelsea, who've really not been able to get going in this game, and Oscar just runs that out of play on the far side of the field. But, you know, credit Manchester United with that. As the ball's played back to De Gea, takes a touch and then whacks it downfield. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. This is 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC, and Martial just catching Willian on the halfway line, but he's okay. Free kick though.
I think Chelsea look a million times a better team when Hazard's in the team. I know he hasn't scored the goals this season, but he's still such a threat with his ability to keep hold of the ball and his low sense of gravity. I'm amazed he's not playing.
Scored the goal that beat Manchester United in this match last season, which was played in the April when Chelsea were closing in on the league title. Now coming into this game in 13th place in the table. Here's Mikel, who's very much a Hiddink favourite. Mikel. It's the 7th consecutive league match that he's been in the team. Willian holding off a strong challenge from Borthwick Jackson. Now Matic doing the same with Fellaini, who's tugging him back, but Matic is still going. Fellaini tugs him back again. Still Chelsea. Azpilicueta. Michael Oliver was right there though as the tugging was taking place. Matic crosses into Fellaini, who blocks it behind for Chelsea's first corner.
Why does he not give a free kick then? He's running into the corner flag. It's not really an advantage. He pulled him back 7 times.
I presume he was waiting to see if any advantage developed, and I suppose the argument would be that
you can always bring it back.
Yeah. I saw one last week. I couldn't believe how late the referee brought it back.
I don't mind that rule. I think it's good.
No, I agree. Willian to take it from the left-hand side, underneath the thousands of Manchester United supporters. Willian's corner into the near post, takes a flick right across the face of goal and over the bar. And what's Costa complaining about? He's running to referee Oliver when Rooney walks past. Fabregas as well is there, and Terry too. What's all that about? Am I taking it there's somebody was pushed inside the penalty area? Costa's furious.
Well, Costa was gesturing towards the other penalty box about something before, so I'm not too sure, but they want to be concentrating on using their energy with their legs and not their mouths, because at the moment they're second best.
They are. And John Terry continues to talk to Michael Oliver, and he's suggesting that Blint was holding him
as Costa was trying to head it.
Yeah,
it was Costa who headed it.
He had hold of his right arm, which stopped him trying to jump, but not that much in that, I don't.
But I mean, come on, Costa faces that virtually every time he's challenged for a ball from a set piece inside the opposition penalty area. I think maybe it's just a hurry up to the referee, isn't it?
Well, he's trying to fire himself up, I would imagine.
Yeah. First time he's played against Manchester United for Chelsea. Didn't play in either of the games last season or the 0-0 at Old Trafford over Christmas. 5 Live and the World Service. 0-0 here at Stamford Bridge on this.
Better.
Yeah, from Chelsea, from Willian. De Gea clears it downfield towards the halfway line. This breezy, quite cold afternoon. You can see the shorts of the players. Fellaini, as he was challenging for it there, just limping actually, feeling his left thigh. It's out of play for a throw into Manchester United. Almost half an hour played. 0-0. Manchester United thus far have been the better team. Courtois making one very good save from a shot from an angle from Martial, who's been bright against Ivanovic, the Chelsea right back. Blint with the ball inside his own half. Here's Carrick. Just turns. Carrick. Costa trotting around and only a few yards away from him. Fellaini now plays it forward. Takes a deflection. Azpilicueta sweeps it away. Matic then to Fabregas. Matic just took his eye off it, but he's still in possession. But in comes Lingard. Fellaini tugging at Matic again, but Chelsea still in possession. Chelsea, blue shirts, blue shorts, white socks, playing from right to left. Through Mikel it goes to Willian on the right hand side. Ivanovic has run into the penalty area, crosses, and it's deflected behind by Blint, who is sprinting back, and Ivanovic applauds Willian. Corner.
Good move, started by Matic with his power, willingness to try and run forward with the ball, and the first time we've seen Ivanovic test Martial going backwards.
Corner then for Chelsea. First time they've had one from the right hand side. Willian to take it towards the near post, a flick from Matic, and De Gea dives to his right to catch it. Didn't have the pace, he got a good sight of it, De Gea, and caught it well. So Manchester United in possession. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Let's get another update from the Six Nations in Dublin from Conor McNamara.
Ireland 13, Wales 13. It's a deadlock in Dublin. The same score, the same territory, the same possession, 50% each. Will something give? Ireland 13, Wales 13, 63 minutes on the clock.
And you can hear the commentary right now on 5 Live Sports Extra on your digital radio or via BBC iPlayer radio. Chelsea with the ball inside their own half. It's Costa all the way back there, being put under some pressure, but he's been able to keep it and play it away to John Terry. Barnsley are now leading Bury by 3-0 in one of the 3 League One matches being played this afternoon. It's already finished. Port Vale 1, Coventry 1. And another update from the Super League, the Wakefield Widnes game from Dave Woods.
Minutes left and Michael Seo tries to put Wakefield right back in this, and Hulkington Rovers 10, Castleford 12 in the other match.
Thanks Dave. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Half an hour on the clock. Gus Hiddink a little concerned. He's standing there in his blue Chelsea anorak on the edge of the coaching area, watching Zuma carry it forward from the back and just show too much of it there. The challenge came in, but Chelsea again with it. It's Fabregas now, and then a sliding block from Chris Smalling just near the D on the edge of the Manchester United area. Chelsea just trying to work their way back into this game, but Fabregas had come back from an offside position, so it's Manchester United's free kick. Danny Murphy.
Yeah, they've had a better spell, Chelsea. Bit more intent, pressing from Costa. It's infectious, trying to get the ball, win the ball higher up. But I'm amazed really that the Chelsea manager hasn't worked in the week on trying to stop Michael Carrick dictating play. Obviously I know Michael well from the days at Tottenham, and he's such a talented footballer that you have to stop him getting the ball. And Fabregas just tends to ball watch and drift across, and then he frees himself up and dictates play. I don't understand why they haven't sorted that out on the training field. It's the first thing I would do if I was playing Manchester United.
John Terry clearing it away to the Manchester United half. Smalling's ball forward. Azpilicueta heads it down, and now Oscar, who scored the first half hat-trick in the FA Cup last Sunday afternoon against MK Dons. Here he is again, Oscar in possession, playing a lovely weighted ball through to Costa, who shoots across goal and wide of the far post as Smalling slid in with the challenge. But lovely move, Chelsea, their best yet.
Super move. Oscar freeing himself up, getting in some central areas, good diagonal, from Costa to the right-hand side of the box, drills a low shot down to De Gea's right, 3 or 4 foot past the post. Much better from Chelsea.
Talking about how Manchester United look like a team transformed, certainly Costa looks much more like himself, shall we say, since the change of manager. And it's quite simple. I know it's been pointed out, he's getting into the right positions more often, isn't he?
Yeah, but it shouldn't need a change of manager for yourself, for you to run around more. I mean, I find that ridiculous. But yeah, he certainly looks back to his best. Positive runs, wanting the ball, popping up all over the place.
And here he is now, Costa. 6 goals in 8 appearances under Gus Hiddink's interim management. Chelsea win a throw down the left-hand side. We're going to go to the Scottish Cup game between East Kilbride and Celtic in a moment, but because of the substantial delay, I'll choose my moment. Here's Matic, pulls it back into the penalty area from the left to Oscar. Oscar now to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta back to Oscar, who shoots. Well, that was wildly wide over the angle, from an angle on the left-hand side of the box, but it really opened up for Oscar on his left foot.
Yeah, it was another positive move with him involved. Oscar's very capable of that, very creative around the box, and just on his swinger. I'm not sure what he's trying there, really. You're better drilling that low across the box and hoping for a teammate. But
now's the time, I think, Danny. East Kilbride, Celtic. Ian Turner.
15 minutes left. John, East Kilbride 0, Celtic 2. Pretty much a training exercise for Celtic now, although not a very satisfactory one, albeit that they're leading here. It's not been a terribly impressive performance. Goals from Lee Griffiths and Kazim Richards. Celtic lead 2-0.
Earlier it finished Hearts 2, Hibs 2 in their Derby Cup tie, so replay in that one. And I think I've heard shorter delays to Tim Peake on the International Space Station than we have to Ian Turner in Airdrie. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0 here on 5 Live and the World Service as Costa loses possession. Carrick quickly passes it to Martial, who's over the halfway line. Martial, his pass to Mata was blocked by Matic. So here's Mikel now. Mikel rolling it forward towards Costa, who's in the centre circle, just inviting the challenge from Blint. And then Costa playing it back and plays still in the centre circle with Fabregas. Mikel now. Mikel, who's been at Chelsea for nearly 10 years now, would you believe it? Mikel now curling the ball towards the far side. Willian takes it down. Up against Borthwick Jackson, the teenager. Willian, little change of feet. Borthwick Jackson onto his backside. Willian plays it across, and Oscar inside the 6-yard box tried to open his body and side-footed in, but side-footed it just a tiny little touch right across the face of goal.
Fantastic wing play from Willian. Sat the fullback on his bottom with a great bit of skill. Fizzed the ball across the box. Oscar can't quite get a touch, but that's what you want to see Willian doing one-on-one with a young fullback, testing him, going at him, making him commit. It's definitely an area for Chelsea that I think they can utilise as the game goes on.
Yep, that's Danny Murphy with us here on 5 Live in the World Service, and Chelsea have come back into it the last 10 minutes. They've found the foothold in the game. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Arsenal having won earlier 2-0 at Bournemouth to go up to 3rd in the table. So Manchester City are now in 4th place in the Premier League. Going to go back to Dublin in a moment, but Manchester United send it forward towards the edge of the box. It's headed away, and now Fabregas, but in slides the challenge on him from Michael Carrick. Carrick, who's been heavily involved in the game so far, influential. Willian now sort of sliced this pass across, but Chelsea have still got it. Here it comes to Oscar on the left-hand side. The Chelsea supporters are warming to this, as are their team. Oscar then challenged by Darmian, and it bounces out of play for a Chelsea throw. Right down on this side of the field, right above the top of the east stand here, looking down on Azpilicueta as he takes this throw. Matic now into the full-back position, 2 United players with him. Matic crosses to the near post, but it lands on the roof of the net, and De Gea knew exactly where it was going. So 0-0, Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, and more from Dublin from Conor McNamara.
And John, 10 minutes of game time to go. Ireland 13, Wales 13. Ireland had led 13-0. There hasn't been any points in the last 15 minutes or so, but no shortage of drama. Both teams defending very well. Ireland 13, Wales 13.
And if you didn't know, you can catch up with all of the key moments from the Six Nations on the BBC Sport website. You can get Six Nations score alerts via the BBC Sport app this season as well. So rather like our coverage of the FA Cup on the television. So a tight finish approaching there, and here 0-0, but it's been a decent game. No goals, but lots of good intent. And Manchester United, who have won their last couple of matches against Derby in the Cup and Stoke in the league, have it in the centre circle with Smalling, who goes on a wander forward and then hits the pass to Borthwick-Jackson on the left-hand side. Back to Rooney, 7 goals in his last 7 games for United. Wayne Rooney now on the halfway line with Manchester United again, and the ball is curled out here by Carrick to the right back, Darmian. Fellaini with a touch. Darmian infield to the former Chelsea favourite Juan Mata, double player of the year with Chelsea. Here is Blint now carrying it forward. Blint hits it straight into Fabregas at close quarters, and Fabregas now to Costa. He's quickly across there. Willian on the halfway line, a couple of touches from him, but his pass was just overhit through, and then Costa bundles over Carrick, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
He's run into the back of Carrick and he's moaning in the linesman's face.
I know.
It's a free kick. It's his own fault.
That's just what he does though, Danny.
Yeah, I listen, I like him as a player, but he is annoying, I have to say. He really is at times annoying.
Yeah. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, he's designed to wind up people like you.
Yeah, well, listen, in the last 10 or 15 minutes, he's done a lot of running and pressing and helping out Fabregas, made a difference to Chelsea. There's a better tempo about them, because there's 3v2, you see, when Carrick drops in, and they've got to work out who they're going to let have the ball.
More from Ireland, Conor McNamara.
Chance for Wales to take the lead for the first time in the game. A penalty attempt wide out on the right-hand side. It's midway between the 22 and the 10-metre line, and Wales' replacement kicker Rhys Priestland is going through his final preparations. Here he comes, right-footed, 13-all the score, and Wales go into the lead. It's been a dramatic comeback from 13-0 down. Wales lead in Dublin. Ireland 13, Wales 16.
Listen to the climax on Sports Extra. Still 0-0 here at Stamford Bridge. I think Manchester United felt they had a case just while you were listening to Connor. Rooney trying to return the ball to Lingard, who seemed to be blocked by Mikel on the edge of the penalty area, but
no one says you have to move.
No, quite. And Mikel didn't move. As now Mata is bundled over by Mikel, and it's a free kick to Manchester United in the central third. And Fellaini now back to Chris Smalling. Smalling now here to the right-hand side to Darmian, who just rolls it down the line. Lingard has a look, can't believe he's got so much space. But then Oscar arrives on the scene. 2-footed challenge from Oscar, who had to time that correctly, but he did. And he's studded it behind for a corner, which is Manchester United's 10th corner of the match. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time. Somebody just taking a seat in the stand in front of us. Corner from the right. Blint is going to take this, and will be left-footed in swinger. The Matthew Harding stand absolutely packed, and Blint preparing now up against the hoarding. Left-footed delivery, it's a deep one. Fellaini was pushing Zuma, I mean, we could clearly see it with our angle, and in the end actually headed it wide of the far post. It was a chance.
Well, there's not many better than Fellaini when it comes to attacking headers in the box, and that's a chance for a man of his quality in the air. I mean, Zuma just does enough, but good chance that, Manchester United.
But Fellaini's arms were all over Zuma. You know, if that had ended up in the back of the net, I suspect Costa would have had a word to say about it.
Probably, yeah.
Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Thrilling finish in Dublin. Conor McNamara.
Absolutely, 6 minutes to go. Ireland with a long-range penalty attempt to level the scores once again. Wales have just got in front for the first time, but Johnny Sexton from a long way out, from over 40 metres, puts it between the posts. That's an excellent kick. It's all square again. Oh, it's going to be a big final 6 minutes here. Ireland 16, Wales 16.
Sounds like nerveless stuff. It is on 5 Live Sports Extra, but here this is 5 Live and the World Service. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. And United with it at the back. Blint to Borthwick-Jackson, who turned 19 this week. He is quite literally not 18 anymore. Here is Carrick now, playing it to Smalling, who will walk away with it, just evades the challenge from Oscar to the halfway line. But then Little Mata is there, gives it to Carrick. Everything seems to be going through Michael Carrick for Manchester United. Here's Fellaini, back to Carrick again, who's almost the most deep-lying Manchester United player just now.
It's a good rotation with the two centre-backs and Carrick, and it's a problem for Fabregas because Blint's as good a footballer as well in terms of going forward, so they have to decide who they let have the ball. I would personally let Smalling have the ball and then pick him up as he comes into the half. One of the midfielders can pick him up as he goes further forward. I wouldn't let Michael Carrick dictate play as he has done for the majority of this first half.
No, those passing statistics will be being absolutely dominated by Michael Carrick, who's in possession once again for Manchester United. His contract only to the end of this season, and United just with it inside their own half. We were talking, Danny, weren't we, before the game about, England's squad, their potential lineup. You'd have Michael Carrick in it for the Euros.
Well, I think he gives tremendous experience, someone who's won things. He can play that holding role, probably more likely in a 3 than in a 2, of course, but it gives them an option of someone who can calm things down even off the bench.
Nice touch from Rooney, Mata, but then Blint wasn't able to take it on. Blint coming forward from central defence to the edge of the penalty area, and Ivanovic has whacked it up the line. Willian did incredibly well there to control that, keep it in play, and then begin a move for Chelsea and swing a ball out here to the left-hand side to Costa, who's juggling the ball with his head. Costa now taking on Darmian, and it bounces behind off Darmian, back onto Costa. It's a goal kick.
He agrees.
Costa, shock news, puts his thumb up. Quite right, referee, you got that spot on, says Diego Costa.
Just on the England thing, I think a lot will depend on who's fit and who's not at the time, of course, because things can change quite dramatically from now till then. But I do think another senior player with his experience will certainly do no harm. We're not exactly blessed with holding midfielders who can dictate play in the England squad, that's for sure.
Yeah. And on that midfield, I mean, what do you as a former Tottenham man, what are you thinking about Dele Alli at the moment? We'll come back to that because here's Darmian on the right-hand side. Darmian infield towards Mata. Mata plays it, taking a little deflection, but that carried it to Rooney just outside the D. Back to Mata now. Mata, it's allowed to run by Lingard. Darmian's ball right across the 6-yard box. Rooney sliding in, couldn't make contact, and the ball dribbles out next to the corner flag for a goal kick. Good move, Manchester United.
Super move. Out on the right hand side, and Darmian, it's actually a perfect pass right in that corridor of danger between the goalkeeper and the 6-yard box. Got to be asking questions to one of the forwards. Martial and Rooney didn't quite manage it, but United have deserved the lead, I think, on the first half display.
Yes, 0-0. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, and almost on cue via the television screen that we've got in front of us here, we see a picture of Roy Hodgson watching in the stand with Ray Lewington as play continues with Manchester United and Lingard on the right-hand side. Lingard, one of the players that Roy Hodgson will be watching, having been in the squad already this season. Lingard, here's Carrick to the left-hand side, and now Borthwick Jackson and Martial. Ivanovic backpedaling. He's on his right foot. Martial chips it towards the back post. Fellaini heads it down. Rooney, it was an awkward height. Comes back for a shot from Lingard, which is blocked at source. And Chelsea have got it back. But Manchester United just coming on strong again late in the half. Last minute of the first 45. Added time as well. Oscar might have been caught there by Blint. Chelsea still in possession. Costa plays it to Fabregas. Lots of red Manchester United shirts back behind the ball. Fabregas gives it back to Oscar. 1 minute of added time. Now to Willian, corner of the penalty area, up against the teenager Borthwick Jackson. Willian crosses, takes a touch, and a chance for Terry! And it is deflected behind. You reckon the arm of Blint had caught there, who was throwing himself in front of the Terry miss-hit shot, and it's been deflected for what's been given as a corner.
Well, it looks like my first instinct, we get the advantage of these replays, my first instinct was it was a penalty. He's thrown both arms, it's penalty. Both arms in front of his face, he saved it more or less.
Yeah. It's from, 3 yards away? 3 yards away, something like that.
Yeah, but it's a deliberate movement with your hands, isn't it?
Blint has thrown himself towards the ball with his arms up. Here's Willian with the corner to the near post, come off a Manchester United man, but cleared away by Darmian near the penalty spot. Blint knows that Terry is going to shoot. He's throwing himself at it. He's put his arms up. Mikel loses possession near the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Mata is bringing it forward, and that's it. United on the break and the half-time whistle goes. More from Danny Murphy and from Jonathan Overend here in a moment. The half-time score, Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, but straight to Dublin and Conor McNamara for the final stages.
And this is rugby on a knife edge. We are into the final minute of game time at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Ireland 16, Wales 16. Wales had a chance to win it. Reece Priestland with a drop goal attempt that went to the left-hand side of the post. Ireland have just been awarded a scrum some 15 metres inside their own half. Former Wales international Rob Jones is alongside me. What a game, Rob.
It is. It's been fantastic. As I said, it's been on a knife edge. You know, certainly in the first half hour or so, Ireland were by far the more dominant side, but Wales have just slowly but surely worked their way back into the game. But the second half has been down to two fantastic defensive efforts. You know, no space has been given to either side, and a draw could well be a fair result. I think Ireland will be delighted with that. Going into this game, Wales are very confident. I think everyone is confident that Wales would get the win, but Ireland have certainly pushed Wales here today, and with a minute or so to go, it still could go either way.
Yeah, there's a scrum for Ireland. Conor Murray, who scored the Irish try, the opening try of the game in the first half. Toby Faletau scored a try for Wales. If you didn't hear earlier, Ireland had been 13 points ahead in the game, then back to 13 all. Wales made it 16-13, and then Ireland, through Johnny Sexton, were able to equalise for this current scoreline of 16-16 as Madigan, who's come on for Sexton, plays it out. And this is Zebo now, still 10 metres inside the Ireland half and tackled to the ground. The clock goes red. Next time it's dead, the game will be over. Here is Andrew Trimble, the wing, popping up in a central location, and Murray now to his right-hand side and taken on by Rob Henshaw. But Wales' defence, Rob, has been excellent throughout this game.
It has. It's been a big part of their success over recent years, and today's been no exception. It's just the work rate of everyone to get themselves back, put themselves in position, and then make the tackle when required.
Ireland in possession. Madigan tries to take it on himself, tackled immediately, might make some space though further outside him. Murray throws out to his left hand side and then quickly gets in position to gather once again. Ireland patient here. Remember, the clock has gone red. It is 16 all in Dublin, and Madigan again, the replacement fly half, little reverse ball back inside to Zebo, tried to take it on the charge. More slick defending by the Welsh though to keep him at bay. Henshaw, who's got dark sleeves underneath his green Ireland jersey, he gains another hard yard. Then it's popped to the right hand side into Rhys Ruddock, who was born in Wales but representing Ireland here and on in the second half as a replacement. Madigan, oh, no option to his left, he's almost caught by Alan Wynne-Jones. He's swooped onto the ground, but somehow Ireland just about hold on to possession.
But yeah, they're holding on to possession, but they've got to be careful that they don't concede a penalty, because Wales are working hard at the breakdown as well, almost getting their hands in time and time again.
Zebo flicks it back in field. It was trying to be brought on by Dave Carney. Now maybe some room. Jared Payne tries the grubber kick, comes back off the shins of Liam Williams, the Wales scrum half, who manages to gather possession. So now Wales have the ball, and maybe a chance for Warren Gatland's men to go and win the game here in Dublin. They've only been ahead once and very briefly in the entire match, but now a chance to run forward. This is Tom James. He runs into heavy traffic. This is midway inside the Welsh half. Ireland, who gambled there with the grubber kick from Jared Payne and have given away possession. And here come Wales. And this is Justin Tipperick. And he rides one challenge and he pops it up into the arms of Liam Williams. And now Ireland turn it over, but Conor Murray is shoveled out of play. And that will be the end of the game. It is a rare draw in the Six Nations. It is all over in Dublin. Ireland 16, Wales 16. That was a hell of a game. Rob Jones.
Well, it was incredible. There's a lot of tired individuals on that field, because they've all worked hard defensively and in attack. I mean, time and time again we saw the clock go in terms of phases up to 15, 16, up to 20 and beyond. So it just shows the effort of each and every one of them players. 16 all, probably deserved result. I think Ireland will feel the happier, because Wales certainly came into this game as favourites for the tournament. Both sides performed well, and certainly the best game of the weekend.
Yeah, other talking points, the injury to Dan Biggar. He had to go off injured early on in the game, but Priestland, 3 penalties and a conversion, was enabled deputy. We mentioned Faletau had the Welsh try, Conor Murray with the Irish try, 2 penalties and a conversion for Johnny Sexton as well.
Yeah, I think Reece Priestland has said it came on under pressure. You know, he hasn't played a huge amount of rugby over the past 12 months, and certainly since he's been at Bath. but he came on and I think he answered the critics. His distribution is good, and certainly his goal kicking, he kicked exceptionally well and well out of hand. So as much as Dan Biggar is a big part of Wales and Wales looking for success again this year, Rhys Priestland has come in and done a job.
And they both went for it, Rob, at the end. They both risked losing the game for the prize of hoping to win it.
Well, absolutely, and I think we saw that right from the word go. There was a real intent from both sides to try and play rugby. The defences were excellent. Wales's defence in particular, their ability to get back and get that strong line across the field again, time and time again, just didn't give any too many opportunities to Ireland. But I said they both came out, they wanted to play, they wanted to win this game. 16 all, though, I think is a fair reflection on the performance.
OK, well, that's how it is finished here in Dublin. There will not be a grand slam for either Ireland or Wales, but they have drawn here in Dublin. And so we hand to Jonathan Overend.
Thank you very much. Dramatic finish and great coverage as well. 16 all there. Will bring you reaction later on in the afternoon here at Stamford Bridge. 0-0. It is at half time, but dramatic end to the half as well, with a big penalty claim for Chelsea as well. We'll get further reflections and the whole second half on 5 Live Sport after the latest news. It's 8 minutes to 5 and here's Mike Young.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet. This is BBC 5 Live.
The Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, is accusing the BMA of totally irresponsible behaviour over the disputes on junior doctors' contracts. The union says Jeremy Hunt is responsible for shambolic mishandling of the new contracts. A 6-month-old baby who was rescued from the rubble of a building in Taiwan after an earthquake has died. More than 100 people are still thought to be trapped in the collapsed apartment block. Britain has joined strong condemnation of North Korea for launching a long-range missile. Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond says it's a threat to international security. Some cross-channel ferry sailings have been cancelled ahead of Storm Imogen, which is due to arrive in the early hours of tomorrow. Dozens of flood warnings have also been issued for the Midlands, South West England and also South Wales. And a review says the Metropolitan Police investigation of a rape allegation against the late Lord Britton was fully justified. Scotland Yard has faced criticism over its handling of the case, but the report says the alleged victim's account was far from fanciful.
De Villiers goes high, and there's nobody out there at deep mid-wicket. There's a man backpedaling. Will he get there? What a catch! Chris Jordan has taken an absolute screamer.
Live from Centurion, South Africa versus England.
The third one-day international. Tuesday from 11:15.
On BBC Digital Radio.
5 Live Sports Extra.
For an enhanced listening experience, use the BBC iPlayer radio app.
Bowled That's gone straight through, Ben Stokes, crashing into the stumps.
To find out more, click, tap or swipe bbc.co.uk/cricket.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Jonathan Overend.
So let's get some reaction from the first Premier League match of the day. Arsenal winning 2-0 at Bournemouth. Mesut Ozil with the first, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with the second, both early on. The Ox's first goal for Arsenal since 2014. Here's his manager, Arsene Wenger.
It's good for his confidence because he worked hard recently. He has matured a lot and I'm very happy for him.
Arsene, we're obviously all looking forward to the game next weekend against Leicester. Are you going to enjoy the challenge this week of coming up with a plan to beat them?
Yes, Leicester has been very impressive recently because they beat Liverpool at home. They beat yesterday Man City in a convincing way. So they're Sunday the favourite of the Premier League. But we play at the Emirates. It's a big game and we want to win it.
And just finally, in terms of the pressure now of the run-in, which is going to come for all teams, because this looks like it's going to go to the wire, how do you feel about your team and your players handling that?
I believe that we are very consistent. You just said that we didn't win for 4 games, but we lost only 1 and it was with 10 men. So overall, I think 2 different away games. One against Southampton, we created plenty of chances, So overall, I think we did well with the pressure. We are focused. It's a long way to go.
All right, Arsene Wenger with Alistair Bruce Ball there, who also spoke to the Bournemouth manager, Eddie Howe, who admitted there was a gulf between the two teams.
The quality of players in the attacking areas really made the difference for them. I felt the 2 goals were very high quality. From our perspective, we just didn't get our pressing quite right. First half, we were too deep. We isolated Bennick, and that was totally against what we wanted to do. But I think you have to give credit for Arsenal for delivering that performance and dominating the ball as they did against us.
Did you get the feeling there, Eddie, that if you had got one, that they might get a little bit nervous? You know, they haven't won a game for a while.
Very much so. I think that was definitely discussed at half-time. We need to try and get the next goal as quickly as we can to put them on the back foot and make it difficult. Fortunately for us, it never came.
I know this is a slightly obvious statement, but Petr Cech has made some great saves in that game. I mean, he's made a massive difference to them. So when he did get your shots on target, there's a great keeper standing in the way.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the save for Harry Arter's shot first half was a really good save. It looked like that was going in from my view. And just his presence and his ability to stay big made a big impact second half. So you know, once you do get past the quality they have in front, they still have a world-class goalkeeper that you've got to beat.
All right, other football, 2-2 it finished between Hearts and Hibs in the Scottish Cup, but Hearts were 2 up with 10 minutes to go. Stoppage time equaliser for Hibs through Paul Hanlon. Celtic winning comfortably enough at Little East Kilbride. League 1, 1-1 it finished Port Vale Coventry, 0-0 Fleetwood Shrewsbury, and Barnsley, good response to them after losing their manager Lee Johnson to Bristol City. Barnsley have beaten Bury 3-0. And how about this in La Liga? Real Betis have beaten Valencia 1-0. Real Betis had the worst home record in La Liga, but they beat Gary Neville's side, and Neville has still not won since taking charge of the Spanish club in the league. Righty, how are you?
Very, very good,
6:06 tonight alongside Kelly. All right, Kel?
Yes, all going very well, thank you. Righty's quite happy because finally we've got an Arsenal win.
And some goals, What about that penalty shout in the last minute there?
Definite penalty. It was on target. It was going on target. It's hit the bottom of his arm. Yeah, I know people are saying it's a penalty. He stopped it with his arm.
However, having said that, even though it clearly was a penalty, and in your opinion it was a penalty, it wasn't given. It's 0-0. Who's had the better of the first half, though?
Man United. Man United have started very well.
What's happened to them?
Oh, I'm not sure.
They did this against Stoke as well.
Yeah, they just seem to be more energised, and they seem to be quicker. There's a lot more impetus in their game. They see the tempo's better. So, and with that comes confidence. You know, Wayne Rooney's scoring goals again. Martial's playing very well, but. You know, so it's only a matter of time before Man United, if they can get it going, they'll actually get going.
Rooney and Lingard said it was down to freedom, and Van Gaal said, no, it's not freedom, it's just confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
We've not changed the way we play at all.
Something's happened. I don't know what it is. You know, Van Gaal will say that, and I was listening to an interview what Alan Green and Danny were doing, and you know, of course, I listen to I don't listen to Van Gaal in interviews anymore. I don't think he makes too much sense. Something's happened for me with them because they are playing a lot better and with a lot more freedom.
However, we will bring you the thoughts of Louis van Gaal once they arrive here on 6:06 if you're interested in what he has to say. And Arsenal, 2-0 win at Bournemouth.
Yeah, it was like Eddie Howe said, with the players and the golf in the quality. It depends if the Arsenal boys, when they turn up, they can show that quality, and they did today. And they needed that. They needed that win. It was one they need to stay in touch.
You also, as you mentioned, been listening to the 5 Live coverage this afternoon when Danny and Alan Green were talking about players going over to China for the money. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Yeah. Plus the Liverpool supporters who walked out yesterday and ticket prices.
More should have went.
Premier League matches as well as through the Football League as well. Plus we'll be talking about all today's games. Overs, we'll get Righty to stop talking now and we'll let you get on with the rest of the build-up to the second half.
I'll chuck in another one. Did you see Costa in that first half going right into the face of the linesman after committing a foul? When is a referee going to book someone for something like that? It's ugly, it's aggressive, it sets the wrong example. Surely you've got no choice.
He should have just done it. It wouldn't have been out.
I don't get why they don't, though. Right?
I don't know. Honestly, John, I ain't got a clue.
What are they scared of?
Costa.
Good answer. All right, 6:06, lines open, 0500 909 693. Match the day 2 tonight is BBC One at 10:50, except in Scotland when it's an hour later, and follows Sports Scene. The European Football Show on Monday nights, 5 Live Sport. Kelly in charge for that one with the Monday Night Club as well, and a Six Nations Rugby review. Let's get some detail then on that Celtic win at East Kilbride. Did they enjoy their day, though, the Lowland League side, Ian Taylor?
Yeah, they certainly did. Celtic won 2-0 and it was little more than a training run for Celtic, and they did what they had to do, but the Premiership leaders less than impressive against an East Kilbride side who came here to enjoy the experience and leave with their heads held high, and they certainly managed both. Lee Griffiths scored in the first half, Colin Kazim-Richards in the second, both scrappy efforts, while East Kilbride, who barely got a kick off the ball, managed just one shot on goal from Jack Smith. Celtic safely into the last 8. In Airdrie it finished East Kilbride 0, Celtic 2.
And quickly, full time at Wakefield, Dave Wood.
Wakefield 16, Widnes 24. A couple of tries on his debut for Saitama Sarr for Widnes. They were more or less in control of the game throughout. Well, the away team, Wakefield, who had to win that £1 million game to stay in Super League last year, look as though they might struggle again this year. And Josh Mantolato for Hulkingston Rovers with a last-second try and then a goal kick off the touchline after the hooter had sounded to make it Hulkingston Rovers 16, Castleford 16 in the day's other game.
OK, just underway, second half here at Stamford Bridge. Let's return you to Alan Green.
And no changes in either lineup. So Chelsea's goalkeeper is Courtois. No, I'll break off the team news. I'll give that one a can. Willian plays the ball ahead of Costa, goes through to De Gea. So Courtois in goal for Chelsea. Defenders Ivanovic, Zuma, Terry and Azpilicueta. Then Mikel and Matic. Then Willian, Fabregas and Oscar. And finally Costa. United's goalkeeper is De Gea. Their defence, Darmian, Smalling, Blint and Borthwick Jackson. Fellaini and Carrick. Then Lingard, Mata and Martial. And finally Rooney. I've got to say, from what I've seen of Fellaini this season, he's actually having quite a good game today. Certainly making more impact than he usually does. He's just taken a throw in. It's with Mata. On to Lingard. Now Fellaini. Back to Darmian. Fellaini once more. And now back via Lingard to Michael Carrick. Carrick to Blint. And United are starting in the second half the way they started the first half. Dominant on the attack. Hardly saw any of Chelsea's attacking play during my spell in commentary in the first half. That was all left for John Murray. It's in the centre of the Chelsea half now. Rooney. Back to Carrick. And on to Lingard once more. And slip to Mata. Mata turns onto his left foot. There's the cross. Rooney with a header. Oh, if he'd got more power off his forehead, it just might have looped over Courtois. It didn't.
Well, the ease in which they got into the Chelsea final third then was a worry. I mean, there was no pressure on the ball anywhere, and Mata nearly picked out Rooney. We're talking 6 inches, a bit lower, and Rooney would have had a free header on goal. I couldn't quite rise above the flight of the ball, but again, positive start for Manchester United.
Courtois with the clearance, taken on the left by Ivanovic, and off his right boot forward to Fabregas, and now Costa running forward, and Smalling runs across. Costa half clears the ball, collected by Matic. Matic shoots into the body of Smalling, and it's out of play for Chelsea, throwing on the far side. Chelsea responding well at the start of the second half. And they should have had a penalty. I thought it was a handball by Daley Blint from John Terry's shot, but the referee didn't see it that way. So it's still 0-0. You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Smalling hits the clearance over the halfway line, only to John Terry. Terry plays it in to Zuma. And Zuma now running through the centre circle, across the halfway line. And he's been allowed to run. He's made 40, 50 yards. He shoots, but like a defender, high into the Matthew Harding stand.
Well, I quite like the fact he's brave enough to come out with the ball and try and make a difference. I like that in a defender. Just needed to get his decision making a bit better there, because I don't think he's going to beat a man of David De Gea's quality from 40 yards out.
No. Most unlikely. The ball eventually retrieved from the Matthew Harding stand. That's the end that Manchester United are defending in the second half. So in their red shirts, white shorts and black socks, they're attacking the other end of the field, behind which are the Manchester United supporters. Chelsea in their blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. And Mikel to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta's pass infield was behind Oscar. Manchester United have the ball again. Martial. Tackled by Ivanovic. Ball squirts away. Only to Borthwick Jackson. He looks a good player, this left back. Into Carrick. Carrick on to Mata. And Mata to Borthwick Jackson again. He's halfway inside the Chelsea half. To Martial. Hard by the left touchline. Back to Mata. And then the ball fed through in the direction of Martial, but it's intercepted by Mikel. Given away though by Mikel. The pass was straight to a red shirt. Here's Rooney, 25 yards out. Shoots a goal. Saved by Courtois. Awkward save for Courtois to make.
Yeah, Rooney
just in front of him, didn't it?
Yeah, Rooney just in that inside left position, just outside the box. Give him the eyes and went for the near post. Well read by Courtois.
It was 0-0 at Old Trafford in December. It's 0-0 here at Stamford Bridge. But United on the attack. Blint into the Chelsea penalty. Pulls the ball back straight to Oscar. Oscar's clearance. Headed back by Carrick. And then Oscar tries to pick it up on the far side of the field. Claims he was impeded there by Lingard. Referee Michael Oliver will have none of it. Lingard cutting in from the right side. Plays it back to Mata, and Mata on to Marshall. There's quite a pace about this United play at the start of this second half. Marshall into the penalty, shoots into the side netting. Actually, I think if he'd aimed for the far post, Courtois was blinded. He couldn't have seen it.
Yep, you're spot on. He tried to be too clever and too cute there. It's again a good run, and there are a lot of bodies in front of him. But that's where Ivanovic has got to have someone talking to him. I'm with you, bring him in, or if not, show him on his left. Can't keep letting him cut in on that right foot. We saw last week that he's so capable.
Really good player, the young Frenchman. Ideally, through the middle himself, but if Rooney's there and Marshall is allowed the freedom, the cut in from the left can be highly effective. Here's Blint. Chipping the ball into the Chelsea half, onto the chest of Zuma. Zuma volleys it forward again, headed back by Smalling. Almost reached Mata, does reach Rooney. Rooney on to Lingard. Rooney running through the middle. Lingard keeps the ball. Now it's to Mata. Short pass, back to Lingard. Rooney's down inside the penalty area. Lingard shoots it, hits the defender, loops into the air. Then it's an overhead clearance by John Terry as some Chelsea fans resume their seats. Oh, it's only 6 minutes in the second half, lads. Don't worry about it. Here's Costa on the far side of the field for Chelsea, rather isolated, left of the United penalty area, plays it back carefully to Matic. Fabregas in a good space, inside right channel, on to Willian, edge of the penalty area. Willian now into the United box, tried to create room for the shot, couldn't do so, passes to Fabregas, then it's intercepted by Fellaini and Fellaini clears it. Terry with the volleyed pass to Azpilicueta, back to John Terry, the Chelsea captain. Azpilicueta once more, moving towards the United penalty area. United started the second half brightly, as they did in the first half, but Chelsea are responding as they didn't do in the first period, and certainly in the first 15-20 minutes. It's quite a good game of football, but, to say the least, we'd like a goal.
It looks like they're both having a go for the win, doesn't it? They both seem to be on the front foot that little bit more.
Here's Zuma on the halfway line. Heads it forward. Ball bounced onto Fellaini's hand. I don't think it was a deliberate handball. No. The referee, Michael Oliver, right to ignore it. Now Borthwick Jackson as the ball's down the United left to Mata. Mata rides the challenge of Mikel. Feeds it forward to Marshall. Marshall evades Ivanovic. Plays it back to Carrick. And now Blint, good crossfield ball by the Dutchman. And Darmian on the far side. Darmian halfway inside the Chelsea half. Moving awkwardly infield, but finds Lingard. Lingard wide to Rooney. Rooney to the right of the penalty. Lashes the ball in. Round to Marshall. Marshall taps it back. Lingard with a shot. Good save, Courtois. Still in play in the penalty area. Rooney crossfield. And then it's spooned behind by the arms of the Belgian goalkeeper for a corner.
It's again clever, patient build-up from Manchester United. Good strike from Lingard. Courtois' left-hand side. Nice height for him.
I've watched games at Old Trafford this season, Danny, when I haven't seen a tenth of the chances that Manchester United have created in the first 8 minutes of this second half. It's been Dullsville, but they look transformed.
It's incredible, the turnaround, isn't it, in the last couple of weeks.
Blint with a corner, left-footed, in swinging, goes a long way, almost fell to Fellaini. It's squirted away to partial safety by Zuma. Matic is across there. Matic hooks the ball over his shoulder, but into a central position. It was temporarily inside the Chelsea penalty, and now they try to counter-attack. But that pass to the left was ahead. Oh, here's Hazard.
Good.
So he only waited 9 minutes into the second half. And Hazard is coming on. And who's coming off?
Oscar. I'm surprised at that.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised at that.
Well, maybe Heading feels he still needs Matic and Mikel back to try to harry United.
At least Oscar's made some contribution in the attacking third. I'm not sure what Fabregas has given to Chelsea today, if I'm honest. I don't see that one.
Oscar got a hat-trick against MK Dons in the FA Cup. No, it was just MK Dons, but it was a hat-trick. But he's off, Hazard's on. Throw in to Manchester United on the far side of the field. It's still Chelsea 0, United 0. 10 minutes into the second half. The pass back to Courtois. And Courtois leathers it, left-footed, over the halfway line. Smalling jumps, Costa didn't move, Smalling won the ball in the air. And now dropped to Zuma. Goodness, Zuma's in trouble.
Oh, he's in trouble.
He really is in trouble. There was no United player really in the vicinity, but he fell very awkwardly in trying to make that clearance. Oh, goodness, I think this is a serious injury.
Yeah.
He's not making
screaming.
it up.
He's absolutely screaming, yeah.
Oh, dear. What might that be, Danny?
Very hard to tell without seeing a replay, but he's gone so high, I would imagine he's fallen awkwardly. He's holding just the back of his knee.
Cahill is on the bench for Chelsea, but Zuma, well, he's become first choice alongside John Terry. It's still not the signal. Oh, now they're indicating beside Zuma that he's not going to play any further part. Oh, goodness gracious! It was the way he landed on his right leg.
Yeah, it's his knee's gone the wrong way, hasn't it? Your knee should be ahead of you, not behind you.
Oh, it looked horrible. Looked absolutely horrible. And they'll need the stretcher. He'll not be hobbling off.
No.
Come on, call for it. Let's get it on. Yes, the referee finally calls for it. Michael Oliver. And there goes the stretcher. That's a terrible injury to Kurt Zuma and bad news for Chelsea.
It's one of the worst sights in football, I think, seeing someone on a football pitch in such pain. And when not that I've ever had a horrendous injury, but you know when you get an injury that the next few weeks, months are going to be hard work. You're not going to be on the pitch, you're going to be in the gym, you're going to be getting the treatment, and it all comes to you in an instant. And it was innocuous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, there wasn't a United player challenging for the ball. He was just clearing at Zuma. And I really do feel for him out there. And let's hope this is not a long-term injury. But naturally, the stretcher bearers are taking it very easily.
He stood up.
He stood up
himself.
How on earth has he done that? Well done, son. But Cahill will replace him. The whole of it plays lasted a couple of minutes already. We've, quote, had 12 minutes of action in the second half. Zuma with a bad injury, and why doesn't he just sit down? Is it a psychological thing?
Yeah, you subconsciously
want to get up.
Yeah, the male ego wants to show that you're not hurt. You know, I remember Jamie Carragher breaking his leg at Blackburn and trying to jump back on the pitch.
I was in the commentary. Yeah.
It's that instinct in us to show everybody that we're tough. You know.
Well, he was tough. Jamie,
yeah, he was one of the toughest.
Gracious. So we've had a long hold-up in play here. Kurt Zuma will not take any further part in this game. Abramovich, of course, is in his regular position at Stamford Bridge. The owner's looking on.
I think he looks genuinely concerned.
Yes.
I mean, it's the pain in his face. You could see straight away.
He wasn't making it up.
Nah.
You know, I get really fed up when I see players roll over and bash the turf, Danny, as if they're hurt, and they're not. But Zuma was badly hurt now. He's being stretchered off, and he's getting a standing ovation. And well done, the Manchester United travelling fans. They're applauding as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Great to see that.
That's what we want to see in football. Appreciation for a player's discomfort. Show sympathy. So Gary Cahill will come on. The hold-up is at least 3 minutes, I would reckon. Cahill's on, and the play will resume with a bounce ball. There wasn't a free kick or anything like that. No. It was just one of those bad moments.
And he tried an unorthodox type of clearance, didn't he?
Yes.
Like a mid-air scissor kick, if you like.
Yes, it was. So we're back underway after a considerable hold-up. It's still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0 here on 5 Live and the World Service on the BBC. Chelsea had the ball on the far side of the field. Now, Matic approaching the penalty area, and then it was almost run into the penalty area by Costa. Costa tackled, and it squirts away out of play on the far side of the field. Throw into Chelsea. Azpilicueta with the throw to Hazard. So 2 Chelsea changes early in this second half. One of them chosen. That was Hazard coming on for Oscar. The latest one wasn't. The throw-in was squandered. It's behind now for a goal kick to Manchester United. It'll take a few minutes for things to settle down.
I think Roy Hodgson will be Obviously, the positive being be interested to see how Cahill is.
Indeed.
Fitness-wise, he hasn't played much recently because he's certainly going to be in the squad, I would imagine, to travel to the Euros, and he hasn't played many games recently, which must have started to concern Roy Hodgson.
Ball's on the halfway line after De Gea's goal kick, and it goes to Carrick. Carrick with Rooney nearby, but his pass was more ambitious to Marshall. Marshall back to Mata. Mata to the left side. Borthwick Jackson plays the ball in. It's teed up. Oh, what a great goal! Brilliant. Fantastic strike by Lingard. He took that ball from behind his body. He swiveled and he lashed it right-footed high above Courtois into the roof of the net. Manchester United with the goal lead. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. Lingard's 4th of the season.
What a wonderful finish from the young man. Good ball in from Borthwick Jackson.
Oh, that was great from
Lingard.
Lingard.
What a strike. He's back to play. Good touch. Swivel and volley. Just what United have deserved, really.
Danny, I'm getting really spoiled these most recent weeks. Oof. You know, I saw Dele Alli's goal against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I saw Jamie Vardy's goal on Tuesday night against Liverpool, and that was obviously much nearer in. He was only about 10 yards out, but it was a sensational finish by the young man.
Well, technically it's a brilliant goal because you're off balance. You've got to concentrate on making sure that you keep the ball down and also get the good connection, but it's flown in the top corner.
Well, Chelsea unbeaten in the last 6 league games against Manchester United, but they trail here 1-0 to a superb goal by Lingard. Now, can the champions, about to be former champions, respond? Here's Willian. Willian turns inside the Manchester United half. His pass was intercepted by the goal scorer Lingard, and it's cleared by Darmian. Darmian now to Marshall. Marshall in a very central role. Rooney's cut to the left-hand side, and the pass goes to the United captain. Marshall now on the left with Rooney, and Rooney crosses the ball deep towards the far side, towards Lingard, but it was beyond the young goal scorer, and it's behind for a goal kick. We played 17 minutes in the second half. I say we played 17 minutes, but we had that hold up for the horrible injury to Zuma, and that's cost us at least 3 or 4 minutes. Lingard looked a little bit pleased after the goal.
And why
He's
not?
every right.
Yeah, why not?
So here's Cahill on for the injured Zuma. On to Willian. Willian still inside his own half, being harassed by Michael Carrick. Willian, and now to Fabregas. Fabregas swings the pass forward. It's dropping towards Costa. Blint pushes Costa over. I think it's outside the penalty area. Yes, it is. A good yard outside the penalty area, but it's going to be a yellow card for the Dutchman. Blint booked.
Yeah, clever play from Costa. Felt him come in. Used his strength. Right decision from the referee. Dangerous area now.
Well, the free kick's only a foot from the edge of the penalty area. It was definitely an offence committed outside the box, but Costa not unreasonable. Anybody would have done it. He made sure he was in the box before he fell over. So that's not criticism, Diego, and as if I'd criticise him, I want to save my life. Here's William with a free kick for Chelsea. A goal down to Manchester United in the second half here at Stamford Bridge. It's from the Chelsea right. Lots of players inside that penalty area. Some tugging going on. Willian plays it in, and it's headed behind by Fellaini for a corner.
Well, we talked about Fellaini's presence in the attacking sense, but defensively he's very good as well. Crucial header. Good ball in from Willian.
Fabregas to take the corner at the Matthew Harding stand end of Stamford Bridge. In towards the near post. Matic tried to head it on. Hit a defensive body, and it's cleared by another defensive body up to the halfway line, where it's met by Azpilicueta. Now Hazard to Matic. Hazard again, and Hazard backheels the ball. He put Matic in the spot of bother, to say the least, and Matic couldn't keep the control of the projectile, and it's out for a throw-in to Manchester United. 19 minutes gone. Sorry,
yeah, I was just going to say, you'd think there'd be some movement. I think there is down there of the subs warming up, because losing the game 1-0, you certainly don't need 2 holding midfielders anymore.
No, United on the attack again. Marshall goes forward, out by Courtois, quickly got there first, and he puts it out of play for nothing worse than a throw-in. Martial so quick though, when the ball was fed into his path. Had Courtois hesitated, Martial could easily have made it 2-0. United throw in, Borthwick Jackson to Lingard. Lingard's volley, that was a yard wide. Courtois furious that he was allowed the space to shoot.
Well, his confidence is up. It's a throw in from the left side, and he's hit a dipping volley, just cuts across it a little bit. Confident play from Lingard.
Manchester United win the ball again. Good play by Darmian into Mata, on to Martial. Martial then tackled by Ivanovic. The ball squirts back. Borthwick Jackson collected it. Willian took it off him. Willian runs in. Mata with a clever back heel though for Manchester United. To Martial. Mata again. On to Borthwick Jackson. The United fans enjoying this. Ball played in towards Rooney, just ahead of the captain, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
His crossing has been superb today. He played that wonderful ball against Stoke, didn't he, as well? It's as a fullback, it's a wonderful quality to have, being able to pick out men in the wrong, fizz that ball in with such pace. It was a great ball again.
Manchester United won just one of their last 13 league games here at Stamford Bridge, but they're ahead 1-0, and we've played 21 minutes of the second half, though there will be considerable time to be added on at the end of the game because of that injury to Zuma. Here's John Terry for Chelsea, on to Cahill. The English partnership resuming the centre of that defence. Now Willian to Fabregas. Fabregas being hustled by Fellaini, successfully hustled by Fellaini. It's out for a Chelsea throw-in. Ivanovic to take it. Oh, here's another change. This is Pedro. Well, it's an attacking alteration, and Matic is coming off. You forecast that a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah,
Not
well,
necessarily Pedro, but certainly taking off one of the holding midfielders.
Yeah, I think you have to. You're 1-0 down at home. Got to go for it. And I think Pedro, who hasn't hit the heights we expect from him, is a great attacking option because we know he can score a goal.
Here he is now. Goodness, he ran into the bulk of Fellaini. The ball squirted away and outside of play. Chelsea throw in. Ivanovic to take it. On it goes to Costa. Wide to Willian. The pass by Costa was under hit. Borthwick Jackson managed to put it out of play. Another throw into Chelsea, this one deeper into the United half. It's level with the edge of the United penalty area. Ivanovic to take it. Hazard's inside the penalty. The throw goes to the Belgian. And here's Hazard. Back now to Mikel. Forward to Fabregas. Willian. Fabregas again. Good movement from Chelsea. The cross is deep towards the far post. Azpilicueta came in to head the ball. I think there was a collision of head. And then the shot driven in by Ivanovic. Brilliant save by De Gea. Volley by Ivanovic. Almost 1-1.
Well, it was a fantastic save from De Gea, but what a volley on his weak foot from Ivanovic. The ball's come from 40 foot in the air. Smashed a left foot volley.
I squeezed seconds of John in the first half. I'm not doing it in the second. John.
Corner to Chelsea. Here it is, played into the near post. Cahill tried to flick it on, but it was blocked away by the defender behind him and cleared away by the scorer of the only goal so far, Jesse Lingard. What an excellent goal it was. If it turns out to be the winner against Chelsea, it's the biggest goal he scored yet for Manchester United. But here's Hazard inside the penalty area for Chelsea. Plays it back to Willian, who's on the left-hand side. Willian clips it over, and it's caught by De Gea, stretching his arms high, but under no pressure. So Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. The lines are open for 6:06. So give Kelly Cates and Ian Wright a call on 0500 909 693 on 5 Live, or text 85058. Or get in touch now at 5 Live Sport on social media. But Manchester United, so careless mistake by Darmian, passing it straight out of play. Danny Murphy's with us. Danny.
Yeah, positive substitutions from Chelsea, so going to open the game up. I sense we might have more goals in this. It's really opened the game up now. I'm glad to see Hazard and Pedro. See if they can get this Chelsea team back in the game that Manchester United thoroughly deserve to be leading.
Pedro on the right hand side, and Willian's going to play centrally now with Matic having been sacrificed. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1, and here is Fabregas playing it forward towards the left hand side, where Smalling, very tight on Costa, just taps it out of play for a throw-in up the left hand side. Real urgency about Chelsea here. Chelsea who've not lost since Mourinho was sacked. Willian now to Pedro into the penalty area. Borthwick Jackson against him, and he manages to deflect it behind with bended left knee for a corner to Chelsea from the right.
Good defending that from the young lad. One-on-one against Pedro, didn't dive in, got the angles just right.
He's done well, Borthwick Jackson, both coming forward and defensively. Corner then, Willian outswinging to the near post. Cahill tried to head it, did head it, but it was blocked by a defender behind for another corner from the right-hand side. This is good pressure from Chelsea. They've responded to going behind. Willian again with the corner, front of the Matthew Harding stand. Again to the edge of the 6-yard box. Fellaini heads away, and then it's swept away downfield. There's no one up there for Manchester United. They had everyone back. Darmian with the clearance. Light drizzle falling on Stamford Bridge. Floodlights brightly on. And Chelsea behind here, facing what would be a 10th Premier League defeat of the season. The defending champions, given away by Willian. Fellaini to Rooney. Rooney, who played a part in the Lingard goal nicely, teed it up for him. Lingard still had a lot to do. Rooney now on the right-hand side, then plays it back towards the halfway line. Darmian, the Italian right back, angles it forward towards Fellaini. Fellaini touches it infield to Mata, who drags it back. Fellaini's taken a tumble in centre field. I think he just fell over. Borthwick Jackson now to Martial on the right-hand side, goes inside again onto his right foot, but Ivanovic went with him. Now it's lifted forward by Carrick, but Ivanovic is able to chest that down easily, and Pedro plays it away to Fabregas. Fabregas sees Carrick and Fellaini coming, so nimbly just plays it back to Azpilicueta. Now here's Hazard on as a substitute to Fabregas. It was just a little short. Willian's done well though. After initially Fabregas did well. Willian centre field to Fabregas, bounced up rather awkwardly, but he controlled it away from Blind. Pedro, first time touch into the penalty area. Hazard's come all the way across here. Hazard not scored from open play yet this season. Fabregas is onto it, shoots high towards the top corner, and De Gea was there, the last line of defence. Did well, stood up, both hands to it, pushed it over the top corner.
Yeah, better from Fabregas. Hazard involved, little intricate passes and triangles around the edge of that United box. Finds himself in a shooting position, good save.
Fabregas with the corner, headed by Terry, but defender in front of him got no power on it, and it was easily cleared away inside the 6-yard box. This is good stuff, this, Danny.
It is. It's a good reaction from Chelsea, and what you expect when you come to Stamford Bridge.
Here's the masked Azpilicueta crossing from the left-hand side. It's gone a long way towards Pedro, who's in the opposite full-back position. Beats Martial to the byline. I think the ball was out. It was. The assistant just flagged it before it was crossed. So it is a goal kick to Manchester United. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. They've not beaten Chelsea since 2012.
No, the thing is, actually, even though Chelsea are on the front foot now and playing a bit better, it might actually suit Manchester United in terms of on the break with the pace of Martial and Lingard. So, an exciting finale to the game.
If you've been out all day, if you've just joined us, if you're in your car, the earlier scores: Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. Ozil and Oxlade-Chamberlain, the scorers. In the Scottish Cup, finished Hearts 2, Hibs 2, finished East Kilbride 0, Celtic only 2. In League 1, Port Vale 1, Coventry 1, Barnsley 3, Bury 0, Fleetwood 0, Shrewsbury 0. And in the Six Nations match of the day, quite a match. Ireland 16, Wales 16. More on that from Dublin once this game is finished. But the lines are open for 606 to talk to Ian Wright and to Kelly Cates on 0500 909 693. And here is Mata, the former Chelsea man, in the centre circle, does well. Rolls it to the right-hand side, Darmian's cross. Rooney, dangerous, controls it, shoots on the turn, but this one bounces wide of Courtois' left post.
Well, that would have been amazing. It was a carbon copy, wasn't it? Rooney, touch, sits up, back to goal. Tries the same technique that Lingard did, just past the left-hand side of the post. But that's the danger I was talking about of Manchester United on the break. Chelsea committing men forward now, trying to get back into this game.
Danny Murphy with us on 5 Live. The other thing I need to tell you, Danny, is about the penalty, Chelsea's penalty shout at the end of the first half when Terry's shot was blocked by the arms of Blint. I was in the queue for the facilities at half-time. I was the odd one out in a queue of Jan Molby, Lee Dixon and Graham Lassau, who all thought no penalty.
Really?
Yeah. Game of opinions.
It is.
Here's Azpilicueta on the left-hand side. Azpilicueta, Fabregas, Willian. This is nice. Fabregas turns away from Fellaini, looking for the pass. Azpilicueta slightly behind him. Hazard now, left corner of the penalty area. Hazard goes for the byline, drags it back, crosses it brilliantly, bounces down. Pedro's after it, couldn't get there, and it was scrambled away by Manchester United. Carrick got a crucial touch in there, and United will clear. But give it away. It's passed by Borthwick Jackson, one of his few mistakes. Well, there's a 50-50 between Mikel
That's good tackle.
and Carrick. Arrived at the same point. Carrick's hurt. Play continues. Referee's not stopping it. Costa then claims he was fouled by Smalling on the edge of the box. That's not a free kick either. And Rooney's actually going to stop play himself by passing the ball out of play. And Carrick's saying to the referee, Oliver, surely that was a foul.
Well, he's let the ball run, Mikel, and it's just gone a bit too far. So it's a good tackle. He's got the ball. You're allowed to put your foot up to get the ball. The foot's low. He gets the ball. Nothing wrong with that for me.
Carrick is still sitting on the ground. Michael Oliver has not called anyone onto the field to give him treatment.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Schneiderlin come on for Carrick. Not too soon. He's looking a tiny bit leggy, which is fair enough. He hasn't played a lot of football recently.
Yeah, Michael Carrick, 34 years old now. Only 17 starts this season. He's had the odd injury here and there. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. And Gus Hiddink down there watching on rather anxiously. Gus Hiddink before today had lost only 1 of 31 matches as the Chelsea manager, either in this interim spell or his previous interim spell. So it would be a rare bird. But Chelsea aren't finished yet in this game. I'm with you, Danny. I think it's got the feel that there may well be another goal or two in the remainder of the match. We've just got less than 15 minutes to play. It's been a good game.
It's been a good game.
Yeah, here's Willian now. Willian. Everyone seemed to be predicting a 0-0 draw for this game. But not so. We've had one goal. Lingard the scorer. Here's Hazard though into the penalty area. Lovely to Costa. Costa back to goal. Oh, Costa. Hazard went one way and Costa passed it the other over the dead ball line. And Costa gives Hazard the sort of look that he normally reserves for men in black.
It's unlucky. That's not that bad a thing to happen. It's just a misunderstanding in the final few yards of the move. It was good intricate play again from Hazard, playing into his feet. He just got the return wrong, but it was good play from Chelsea.
1-0 to Manchester United. Jesse Lingard's goal. Borthwick Jackson crossed it. Rooney teed it up, and Lingard with his back to goal. His standing foot, Danny, actually gave way, didn't it? But the contact with his right foot was perfect. Here they come again, Manchester United. Cross from the right-hand side from Lingard, but he's got that one wrong. Overhit it. No chance for anyone inside the box, and it's out of play for a throw. And you're absolutely right, Danny, in terms of Manchester United's change. Although, in actual fact, it's not Carrick making way, it's Fellaini who will be replaced by Schneiderlin.
Surprised, actually. Fellaini's done okay today. He's played quite well. I've been a critic of his recently, but he's certainly contributed in this United side today.
It's actually been Fellaini's sort of game. Combative game. It's been tightly contested. I think Manchester United have edged it. Here's Chelsea with Willian inside his own defensive third to Mikel. Azpilicueta is motoring up the left-hand side. Lingard just mistimed it, really. Yeah. Azpilicueta was away from him. The ball had gone, just caught, and down tumbling went Azpilicueta. Yellow card for the goal scorer.
Yeah, good positive play from Azpilicueta. Just got a toe before Lingard. Yellow card's the right decision.
Just over 10 minutes to play. Call Ian Wright 0500 909 693 with Kelly Cates for 606. Here's Willian. This is 5 Live in the World Service. Fabregas back to Willian. Square it comes. Pedro is there. Manchester United have got everyone back in their own defensive third. Ivanovic now crossing. No, doesn't beat the first man, who's Rooney on the edge of the box. Willian gets it back in the centre circle, but misplaces his pass. Rooney hunting for it, doesn't get there. And Manchester United defending again as Mikel plays it forward. Cahill with a touch, but whacked away on the edge of the penalty area.
Offside.
And an offside flag against Rooney, who'd come back into his own half from that position. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. As well, during 6:06, we'll try and bring you the interviews with Gus Hiddink and Louis van Gaal, the two Dutch managers. It was Schneiderlin's first contribution as to miss time a challenge on Mikel and concede a free kick. And we'll also bring you the news on Kurt Zouma, who fell awkwardly, challenging for a ball, landed. I think his studs did get caught a little, and his knee bent backwards and was stretchered off the field. It didn't look good for young Zouma. Here's Fabregas crossing from the right-hand side into Borthwick Jackson, deflected it out of play for a throw-in, 10 yards away from the corner flag. Ivanovic waits to take this throw, looking for movement, which he has from Hazard. Oh, and Hazard, I mean, just a little bump into Blint, took him off balance, and it bounced behind for a goal kick.
Doesn't quite, just every time I've seen Hazard this season, he's trying to get on the ball and make things happen. Things are bouncing off him a little bit, hit the woodwork a few times. It's just not happening for him at the moment.
Goal kick to Manchester United, and in this position, into the last 10 minutes, United are in no hurry, having not won since Alex Ferguson's time as manager against Chelsea. That very eventful, I'm sure you remember it, Danny, 3-2 win here when both Ivanovic and Torres were sent off in the match. Roberto Di Matteo was the Chelsea manager at that time. Manchester United with Mata trying to wriggle his way through between Fabregas and Mikel, but they're too wise for him. And Chelsea have got it back, and Pedro plays it down the left-hand side. Costa on the chase, but Schneiderlin was there, got there first and just steered it out next to the corner flag for a throw-in down the left-hand side.
Yeah, good covering from Schneiderlin. That's what he's been brought on to do. Spot danger, fill the gaps, help that back four out. Did it well there.
Throw-in taken by Chelsea. And square from Willian. Fabregas just in front of the Manchester United box. Fabregas, but 3 United players are in on him. Schneiderlin got the touch. Chelsea with it again on the left-hand side. Manchester United supporters trying to urge their team, see their team through to this victory. Should say as well, the United supporters marking the anniversary of the Munich disaster this weekend, 1958. There's a flag there which mirrors the clock at Old Trafford. Chelsea with Azpilicueta claiming that was a handball by Darmian, who was on the ground, and the referee says yes.
Smalling.
And it's a yellow card. Smalling, was it?
Yeah.
Who was on the ground.
He's protesting his innocence at the moment. We will see on the replay.
Well, it bounced towards it. Well,
just there, yeah.
When it came back to him a second time.
He's unlucky, actually, wasn't he? Good improvisation with the head at first.
From 3 inches above the ground. So both United central defenders have been booked. Smalling and earlier Blint. And it's a free kick, dangerous position. It's that area from where Willian has scored at least a couple of times this season. Just on the left-hand side, he'll just look to drop it into that area outside the 6-yard box. So here it goes. Actually whipped it in. It was headed away by Martial. He's looking for a little touch from Terry there. Bounces out of play next to the corner flag. Willian takes the throw. John Terry juggling with it next to the dead ball line. And he appealed like a fast bowler, appealing for an LBW, and he won the corner from the left-hand side. Willian's going to swing this in. Ivanovic is making a nuisance of himself in the 6-yard box. Here it is. No, for once the Willian delivery's poor, and it's easily cleared away by Schneiderlin, out of play for a throw down the left-hand side. Time running out for Chelsea. Less than 6 minutes to play. Hazard again. Just a tiny little touch from Mata on Hazard, and it's a free kick to Chelsea again on that far side.
The technique of taking corners and free kicks and whipping them in from these angles, I used to take a lot of them myself. It's a mind over matter, because if you hit a bad one, you're doubly paranoid next time you step up, knowing that you'll get the groans if you hit that front man again. But you've still got to have faith in your ability to put the ball in with pace.
Well, he has the ability, this little Brazilian, Willian, who plays it in. Terry again tries to flick it on, falling to ground. Whether he got a touch or not, I'm not sure, but it was blocked away by the defender behind him. Chelsea attacking towards the Matthew Harding stand door, are coming again. Pedro back to Fabregas. He gets it back from Pedro, goes for the long pass straight into the back of Darmian, who's just a couple of yards away from him, and it bounces out of play for a throw. Wrong decision there. However, Chelsea still in possession. you would think that Chelsea would get at least one more chance in this game to equalise. Fabregas to Mikel on the edge of the box. Mikel twisting and then giving it to Ivanovic on the right hand side. His cross struck the heels of Borthwick Jackson, and that meant that Mata in the box could swing it away. But it's just coming back at Manchester United now every time they clear it. Ivanovic's cross deflected into the area, headed away by Smalling. Throw.
His crossing has been poor. Ivanovic never misses the near man. His technique's poor when he tries to cross.
Manchester United going to make another change shortly, but here comes the throw from Ivanovic, headed down by Mikel out of the box. Pedro set himself, but then miskicked really. The attempted shot blocked inside the 6-yard box, inside the penalty area. Memphis Depay being prepared to come on for Manchester United. He has Hazard on the left-hand side, whacked away by Lingard. Willian goes for a crossfield pass, 40-50 yards, but misjudged it, and it bounces through beyond Ivanovic for a goal kick. So Memphis Depay will come on for Manchester United, and we'll see that change before De Gea takes the goal kick. Fourth official indicating that it will be. In fact, Michael Oliver is just looking there. It's Lingard, it's the goal scorer who's coming off. Fine contribution, certainly with the goal from Jesse Lingard today, Danny Murphy.
Well, it was a wonder goal, wasn't it? I know he'll be watching the highlights tonight and replaying that again and again, because that was a special finish, something that lived with him for a long time. And of course, if it's the winner, it'll mean that little bit more. United have done well since the goal, actually. They've kept a good shape, let Chelsea have possession, apart from that one chance. Kept them at bay.
Less than 4 minutes to play. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1 on 5 Live in the World Service. Up towards Rooney, not being able to get onto the score sheet, but did set up the only goal for Lingard, who's now left the field. Early long pass from Mikel towards Costa. Not seen much of that today. Costa against Smalling. Costa ends up going down to his knees, appealing to the assistant. Then the ball eventually out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United in their own defensive third. Not sure there was much in that, was there?
I think it's a free kick.
Yeah, Smalling did have his arms around him.
Yeah.
And Smalling, we've seen that, haven't we, in recent weeks? A number of occasions in recent matches. Smalling with his arms around opponents. I'm sure that's something that the referees will be red hot on during the Euros, or at least you'd like to think they would be. Here's Carrick. And then the clearance from Borthwick Jackson downfield. Less than 3 minutes to play. Gary Cahill's going to leave this to Ivanovic to take the throw-in deep inside his own half. Manchester United supporters in great voice, applauding rhythmically. Manchester United with Blint, but overhitting that ball through to Courtois, who made that very good save in the first half, but there wasn't anything he could do with the shot on the turn from Jesse Lingard. Mikel just puts his foot on it, plays it to the left-hand side to Fabregas, who's dropped a little deeper since the changes were made by Gus Hiddink, who's facing his first home defeat as Chelsea manager. Now Willian to the right-hand side. Ivanovic is there. Ivanovic has a little look up, then comes in field. He's on his left foot, back onto his right though. And now Hazard caught there by the challenge from Darmian.
Silly foul from Darmian. He's got Hazard going back towards his own goal.
And it's a free kick here on the right-hand side. So a chance now for Willian to curl it in. Be an out-swinger with his right foot. Referee Oliver gets the spray out and marks the pitch.
Got to miss Martial. Miss Martial and give those lads a chance.
All grouped beyond the penalty spot. Willian with the free kick here on the right, curls it in deep towards the back post, and it's headed back across goal by Costa, who was sandwiched by Manchester United players. It was a chance in the 6-yard box from an angle, but he headed it over.
It's a much better ball from Willian, and Costa rises above Blind, I think it is. Should hit the target. It's poor for a man of his quality.
Chance for Costa.
Great chance.
Yeah, that's a couple of them in the second half, and he's not been able to register. So 1-0 to Manchester United, and we're in the 90th minute now.
They've made some good chances, Chelsea. You know, they haven't played too badly, and that man De Gea's made a couple of great saves, and of course they'll feel hard done by with the... I'm sure they'll feel it was a penalty in the first half, but I think overall United have had that bit better quality in the final third, obviously, on the day, and probably for me just deserve the victory if they get it.
You'll be able to judge for yourself whether it was a penalty or not on Match of the Day tonight, which is on just a little bit later than usual on Sunday night at 10:50, and even later in Scotland where Sports Scene's on first. Here's Rooney now skipping away from a couple of challenges, very nearly got through, needed a final tackle from Mikel to win it back. Fabregas, but that was almost the Rooney of old, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That little burst from him. 1-0 Manchester United. And Mikel stumbles there on the halfway line. Fourth official just comes forward with his board. 6 minutes of added time, and of course a large part of that is down to the Zuma injury. Here's Memphis Depay on the right hand side. His pass took a deflection off Azpilicueta and carried it closer to Courtois. So there is time. 6 minutes of added time. Courtois underarms it out towards Fabregas. Fabregas to the left. The space here for Hazard. Controls it, plays it down the left towards Pedro. Infield now to Willian, approaching the left corner of the box. Willian now to Hazard, turns away nicely on the edge of the D, but he's got his back to the penalty area, packed penalty area. Manchester United just forcing it out, and now through into the area. Costa, clear chance, sliding block, Costa again, and he scores, and it is the equaliser, and Manchester United concede the equaliser in added time, and it's Diego Costa who scored it. Chelsea won, Manchester United won.
Well, Michael Carrick has just given Memphis Depay a rocket, and that was for giving away a silly ball when they were 4v2 a minute before. Chelsea's got Borthwick Jackson playing Costa onside, nearly recovers his mistake, but Costa skips around the goalkeeper. It's actually a good tackle, good recovery tackle from Borthwick Jackson. Takes it round the keeper for Costa, gets a bit of luck. Probably, if anyone on the pitch for Chelsea deserved it, Costa did. He's not stopped running in the second half. Those channels trying to get Chelsea back in the game.
So Diego Costa rescues Chelsea, and their unbeaten record looks as though it'll remain intact under Gus Hiddink. Although there is still time.
I was going to say when they brought the substitute on, sometimes late in the game it's really hard for a substitute to get in with the pace of it, and they broke 4v2 and he's given the ball back to Chelsea.
Might be time for Chelsea to get a winner. They've got the wind in their sails. Willian with it on the left hand side, high ball right across field to the far side of the penalty area, taken down by Pedro, then gives it back to Mikel, who's in the box. Mikel plays it across unconvincingly, easily headed away by Blint, still on the edge of the box. Fabregas heads it over the top, headed away by Smalling, and then whacked away by Memphis Depay towards the halfway line. And it was for the equaliser for the Chelsea goal. It was Borthwick Jackson who just played him onside. There was a Chelsea player in an offside position, but not Costa. Costa was onside. Borthwick Jackson very nearly recovered it by putting in a challenge, but Costa himself kept his feet well and slotted it in from the angle. As now Fabregas is bowled over, and it's a free kick to Chelsea on the left-hand side. They're looking for a winner now, Danny.
Yeah, well, wait till... If you're listening to this, you've got to see the 4v2 United had 30 seconds before Chelsea got the equaliser. LVG's going to be fuming. It was a really sloppy play from Memphis.
So the free kick from Willian. He's had a couple of opportunities from this sort of angle. Home supporters making good noise now. Ivanovic wrestling in the box. Here's Willian's delivery into the 6-yard area, over the top, straight into the gloves of De Gea.
No, he did. He went safe. He chipped it instead of whipping it. Little scoopy chip into the keeper's hands. That's because he'd had a couple of bad ones from there 5 minutes ago. Should have been brave. Tried to fizz it in again.
Manchester United about to make another change. Ander Herrera waiting to come on. Rooney in the Chelsea right back area. Rooney takes on, beats Ivanovic easily, goes for the chip. Under the roof of the net. Close.
What an effort. Cutting in from this left-hand side. Tried a clever little dink over Courtois, just over the crossbar.
And now Ander Herrera coming on for Manchester United in the 5th minute of added time.
Ridiculous.
It's Juan Mata who is being applauded off, the one-time favourite here. And he applauds back to the mid-11, didn't he, here?
Yeah, it's a fantastic ovation for him. Super player, good performance today. I don't understand why managers do that in the last minute of the game. I really don't. As a player and you're coming on for a minute, it's infuriating.
But I suspect possibly part of the thinking from Louis van Gaal will be
time.
A little bit of a fear that they might lose this game with Chelsea having the momentum. So 1-1, Lingard opening the scoring for Manchester United, but Diego Costa scoring in the first minute of added time, Costa's 11th goal of the season, and that is now 7 goals in 9 appearances under Gus Hiddink's management. John Terry launches a long ball downfield. Costa against Smalling tried to glance it on, but just glanced it through to David De Gea. So we're not far away from 6:06 with Kelly Cates and Ian Wright. 0500 909 693 as De Gea launches it through the middle. Rooney jumps for it, but cleared away by John Terry behind him. A little touch, Rooney then with John Terry. And Chelsea now, as the ball bounces to Hazard. Hazard plays it through to Costa, left side of the box, beats Smalling. Costa shoots, saved by De Gea, and then it bounces off Blint behind for a corner. Oh, it opened up there for Chelsea and for Costa to win it, but De Gea blocked it.
Costa inside left, chopped Smalling, went for the near post. Hard to beat that man, isn't he, even from that close. Great save from De Gea.
Did really well. So the corner then, still a chance. Rooney though heads it away, and it bounces away, and there might have been a block on the edge of the area, but it's the final whistle that goes, and it's finished on as even. Danny Murphy. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, terrific game, really enjoyed it. I think Chelsea deserve credit for perseverance, kept going after they went a goal down, made some good positive substitutions and got back in the game, so reward for the positivity in the substitutions for the manager.
Yeah, when it was 13th against 5th, I think expectations were quite low, but it was actually a very good game to watch. Jesse Lingard scoring for Manchester United, Diego Costa with the late equaliser, so that's 4 consecutive home draws for Chelsea now in the Premier League, and for Manchester United they're 6 points off 4th place Manchester City after this point in West London. So Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1, and Jonathan Overend is here with us.
I'm struck by the fact that's their second home game in a row, Chelsea, where they've scrambled a stoppage time equaliser. Remember the Everton match and that John Terry equaliser so late? That was their last home game, so they've done it again to somehow protect Gus Hiddink's unbeaten run. Good ovation from the visiting fans away to our left here. They're all on their feet. They're applauding this Manchester United side, who certainly have found their rhythm in the last few weeks, haven't they? They'll be absolutely gutted they didn't go away with 3 points today, but there's a good link now between those fans and the players, which there definitely wasn't a month or more ago. So Danny Murphy, that is, it was a very entertaining game, wasn't it, first and foremost?
It was. It was strange how it needed United to really push Chelsea for them to react. It was similar, I suppose, in the Everton game, you could say, but when they did go after United and put some more attacking players on the pitch and get on the front foot, they looked really dangerous again, and Costa kept trying, kept making his runs, and in the end got his rewards. But I think from a Manchester United point of view, many positives. Another good performance and plenty of chances made, and everybody looking on top of their game. So that is positive in terms of the running, because now they need to go on a good run of form to get back in that top 4.
So Leicester lead the Premier League tonight by 5 points, as you were in that respect. They've got 53, Tottenham 48, with a superior goal difference to Arsenal, who are also up onto 48 points tonight, 1 ahead of Manchester City as a result of their 2-0 win earlier at Bournemouth. Mesut Ozil and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with the first half goals for Arsenal. They move up to 3rd, as I say, and Aaron Ramsey, the Arsenal midfielder, spoke afterwards to Steve Wilson.